WhatsApp gets hacked again. Microsoft has a big data breach, yet another big cloud data breach happening. Some buffer overflows affecting IoT systems. More cameras added to the IoT Hall of Shame. Let's take a look at This Week in Cybersecurity with the Code Curmudgeon. Let's take a look at what happened this week in cybersecurity. So I guess the two big stories are really the WhatsApp hack on Jeff Bezos' phone and the Microsoft data breach. And I want to look just briefly at them. They've both been written about to death. Maybe I'll put a couple of links down below or something, but they're everywhere in the news. Lots of people speculating about Bezos, but the interesting thing to me about the Bezos WhatsApp hack is not the particulars of how they got in, but the fact that yet again, we have WhatsApp being hacked. A lot of people rely on WhatsApp for secure messaging because they're worried about their messages being spied on. And privacy is an interesting and important issue, but personally, I'm not a huge fan of WhatsApp because it is constantly being hacked successfully. So if you're really worried about security of your messages, WhatsApp is probably not the best place for you. And I thought that was the most interesting thing. There's speculation. Was this really the Saudi government? Was it some other government? Don't know. Don't care. The effect on Bezos? Don't care. To me, the important thing is look at the tools that you're using in your everyday life, the applications you have installed. And if you see them in the news constantly, sure, there's a breach. It can happen to anybody. But when they're in there over and over and over again, maybe find something else. You know, if you're using iMessage and talking to your friends on Apple devices, you've got end-to-end encryption. Like, you're just as secure as WhatsApp. So, just something to think about. So, on to Microsoft. The Microsoft one, I don't want to pick on Microsoft, right? They did some really bad stuff here, but basically 5 servers full of customer support information, which apparently didn't include like credit card data or anything, but some personal information, emails and ID numbers and stuff got leaked out there. And essentially, this wasn't a breach in the sense that someone attacked the system and hacked a password. It was just left out there in the open. Again, to me, this is interesting because this is one of my pet peeves. I have seriously considered the idea of starting a data breach Hall of Shame because this is just so common, and these breaches, especially in the Hall of Shame, would be data that got breached because no one even bothered to secure it. Like, that's the thing, and that's what happened here. That's the really amazing thing. So, honestly, the reason I don't do this, to have a Hall of Shame for this, is that these things are so frequent, it would be too much work. It's all I can do to keep up with IoT hacks and SQL injection. SQL injection slowed down a little bit, but IoT hacks just, you know, it's really prolific. And I'm not even posting all of them. I'm only posting the biggest ones in the Hall of Shame. So yet another big security data breach. It's tech support related. If you've been doing tech support with Microsoft in the last 5 or 10 years, then, you know, like, maybe just change your Microsoft login password. Maybe do that anyway, right? Like, when was the last time you changed it? Maybe it's just time to change it. You know, now that I'm thinking, I'm going to go change my Microsoft password again. It's time, right? Just change it. Okay, so IoT, buffer overflow. One of the Code Curmudgeon's favorite vulnerabilities, buffer overflow. Right? When you look at how people hack into devices, whether it's a smartphone or a camera or a car or an airplane, buffer overflow is just a classic, right? Push too much data into too small of a bucket and see where the spillover leads. So this is combined in this particular attack with the Vivatech PT7135 IP cameras, model 0300 and 0400. I only say that because maybe some of you have that and you need to make sure that you patch it to the latest firmware. But the other really fun thing, so we have here a common attack that thorough testing should mitigate and that proper design should eliminate. So it's a great Hall of Shame candidate, but also, yet again, like internet-enabled cameras, they're just a huge weak spot. They seem to be the #1 issue in the IoT Hall of Shame right now. So if you got an internet-enabled camera, like, make sure that you don't have external access enabled. and make sure that you have good password in there. Make sure that you change it relatively frequently, and watch the IoT Hall of Shame for notifications. Another IoT thing, Philips Hue Bridge models 2.x and prior. Philips Hue's been in the IoT Hall of Shame before. Again, another buffer overflow, so what can I say? It's classic. There's a reason it's a classic. And, Philips light bulbs, they were like the original IoT hack in some sense, right? Like they were the big thing that was truly new device for IoT and was super easy to hack. And they've since done a lot of changes. So this probably isn't going to be a huge deal, but if you're using Philips Hue, go patch it. And by the way, if you're using IoT light bulbs, just make sure that you're keeping all of the security firmware patches up to date. And like everything else, no default passwords, no external access. Do you really need to turn your bedroom light on from on the road? Do you? Really? Like, you've got this IoT light bulb. It can turn itself on when the sun goes down. Okay, so something to think about. Always think about IoT, like, do you need it? Because you do need some of it. Big one, this is more industrial, the pieces that run the internet, but Citrix servers that were unpatched from a previous security vulnerability were hacked trying to deploy ransomware. So this is one of those, like, the big iron that's running the internet, whether it's content delivery networks, firewalls, routers, Wi-Fi, the big Cisco devices and other people's devices that running the networks for all of us. They are also subject to security problems and getting hacked constantly. So, keep your big servers patched, people. Don't let your big servers sit there and get out of date, thinking that, well, this is, it's just internal and we'll update it once a year or whatever. Like, keep that stuff up to date. And this is interesting if you want to go look it up a bit. This is one of those combo attacks. We're taking a couple of different vulnerabilities, trying to stack them on top of each other and see if we can get somewhere new and interesting. So, the combo ones are the ones they're the most interesting. They're also the most scary, when people can just, bridge their way from one vulnerability to another to finally end up somewhere that's spooky. So patch your servers, people. And then the last one, this is more of a cautionary tale. This is privacy rather than security, but the National Security Council has an opening because somebody was walked out, as they say, of the council last week. Basically, his device was compromised, and it's one of those things I wanted to talk about, right? Like, whether you're an IT administrator and you have employees bringing in phones, tablets, cameras, and other things to attach to your internet, or whether you're the person who has these devices and using them in the office, these things are the weak link into any network. So if you're going to put it on the company network, you have a responsibility to make sure that you're keeping it secure. Protecting the company data is going to protect your own job. As a corporate IT person, make sure that your people are doing, smart things and not stupid things. And maybe people's phones need to be on a separate network than your data systems. So making sure that you isolate things properly. This was just funny because essentially, if I look at this, basically he lost his phone. What they're saying is maybe a honey trap, but yeah, he was caught with hookers. Okay, like if you're gonna lose your smartphone because you're sleeping with hookers, like okay, right? Be aware of what you're doing. Like, privacy and security, a lot of it is about awareness. So, like, don't do unsafe things and you won't fall victim to safety problems. But again, just, think about your mobile devices and think about them in the context of whose network you're using them on, whether it's your friends, your parents, or your office or your home, and make sure that every aspect is safe. So that's it for this week. If you know of anything interesting, please send me a tip, Twitter, email, whatever. If you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe to find out more, and have a great day, people. Stay safe.